Hello, my name is Evan, and welcome to Evanomics 101, your number one source for everything economics. Today I want to make a video about the Consumer Credit Report for end of year in December. I think the video today is going to kind of give us a real in-depth look at exactly where we are as a society as a whole as far as our credit card debt is concerned. The consumer debt for December, as well as the trade deficit, were at all-time highs. So it's kind of like you got to think about how are we paying for all of these imports that are coming in? We know that the United States is not a exporting country. We import, and in return we give our dollars out. So how are we paying for the things that are coming in? Well, December showed that the credit card debt surged to the largest it's been in history. We have a credit card debt that is the largest ever of all time. So if we're paying for all of our imports using credit cards, that's not a good thing. That's not a good sign. If it's showing that credit card debt is at an all-time high while savings is at an all-time low, that's showing that the consumer, the United States, is in a very bad situation. So why would it be that consumers are borrowing so much money when you know that a credit card with a 24% interest on credit cards, why would they be making everyday purchases using credit cards with interest rates that high? And the reason is they have no choice. This is what we have to understand, that people are in a situation now where they're using credit cards for everyday necessities, to buy food, to purchase gas, to do just about everything. And with the interest rate as high as some credit cards have, we're not going to be able to pay off this debt, or the average individual is not going to be able to pay off this debt. But you also got to ask yourself, why are the reports saying that our economy is in such a good and strong position? That's because we're not. But we have to be able to maintain that image and make people think that we are. If we are using credit cards, it's a way of not being able to feel the current issues that a lot of people are facing. It's a way to kind of pass the buck, because with your credit card you can charge that, and you'll have a month or however long you need to pay on it. However, at the interest rates that credit cards are currently at, the majority of people are not going to be able to pay these debts off, pay this debt back. So that's going to bring us to another topic for a later video, for stagflation. You may have heard the term stagflation, but basically where you have high economic growth, high unemployment, and you have high inflation. But we're going to get into stagflation in another video where I'll break it down and explain it so that you can understand that we're basically in a situation of stagflation where we can't use monetary policy by changing interest rates, lowering interest rates, because lowering interest rates are going to ultimately increase our inflation. Again, we're going to break that down in another video. Today, we're just focusing on the Consumer Credit Report. I think it shows, though, that if people are still using their credit cards, that our monetary policy is still too loose. We have to tighten up on the monetary policy, basically meaning that the right thing to do would be to increase our interest rates, to slow down or to stop borrowing, encourage savings, because at the current level of interest rates, we're just going to continue. This bubble is just going to continue to go. Something really does need to pop within our economy because we just can't continue to go on like that. We can't continue to kick the can down the road. It's a fight between whether we want economic growth or whether we want inflation. And we have to understand that the government, our federal government, would prefer economic growth over everything. Inflation is a fight that you and I have to fight. Inflation is something that is going to affect those average everyday individuals. Inflation helps individuals with assets. So if we're talking about lowering interest rates in order to, raising interest rates to fight inflation, that would slow economic growth. That means businesses won't be able to borrow, or they won't be able to borrow at a rate that they're currently borrowing at, meaning that they may not be able to hire employees. So you have to understand that inflation, or our current monetary policy, is we have to tighten up, and we should be increasing interest rates. In the Fed's current move, they decide to pause on interest rates cuts. So you have to think about it from a perspective also of, if our economy is doing so good, why would we be lowering interest rates anyway? Like, why would we even consider the option of lowering interest rates? So it's just something that we definitely have to think about. Like I said, today I wanted to focus on the top of our consumer credit report to show that as a whole, our country is spending or using credit cards to purchase everyday goods. We cannot sustain like that, and we're not going to be able to control this credit card debt because so many people are using credit cards. We're at an all-time high, and interest rates are too high for people to pay these credit cards back. I think you're probably going to see, in my opinion, you're going to see a lot of defaults coming shortly. I would say probably not in 2025, but you will definitely see defaults, because there's no way we can continue to go like this. We've gone so long. And I know everybody talks about, how long can we last, or how long can we keep this up? But that bubble is going to pop, and I want to be the first person to tell you so you can prepare. So please like, share, subscribe. We're going to talk more about consumer credit card debt. We're going to talk about, of course, more on inflation and how interest rates affect both our credit card situation as well as inflation. And please stay tuned, and thank you for viewing.